how do you turn this into this? Stick around as we get to the tabletop and show you how to do it. All right, welcome back to the channel. As you saw right before the intro, I asked you how you turn that Glock 17 into what looked like a personal defense weapon. You do that with the Recover Tactical P9 Plus or p-ixb Plus. I'm not sure what Recover Tactical's nomenclature is. Anyway, we're gonna take it to the tabletop and we're gonna show you the Recover Tactical chassis, the features of it, that kind of stuff. We have had it out to the range, so make sure you check out some of the videos that we have on this Recover Tactical chassis. We can't do a lot of putting it together for you on here because that's against YouTube's policies. So make sure you check us out on Rumble. We can show you more about it. But let's go ahead and head to the tabletop and let's talk about this Recover Tactical chassis. Okay, welcome to the tabletop. So before the intro, I asked you how you turn this simple Glock into this. Well, you do it by putting this Glock into that chassis. We're going to take a deeper dive into the Recover Tactical p-ixb Plus chassis. It's a sleek, lightweight conversion kit that turns, again, your Glock into a PDW, or personal defense weapon. We've already taken it out to the range, like I said. We've run it through some tests. We've done some shooting through it. And now it's time for the tabletop review. Off to the race. We're going to go over the features, some pros, some cons, some compatibility, so you know whether the setup is right for you. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss out on any of our suppressor tests that we have coming up, some breakdowns on tactical gear, reviews, and things like that. So let's go ahead and get this Glock 17 out of the way. And let's start talking about the Recover Tactical p-ixb Plus or P9 Plus, depending on how you want to describe it. So what exactly is this p-ixb Plus? That's what we're going to go. We're going to call it the p-ixb Plus for brevity. It's an upgraded version of the original p-ixb chassis, so it's designed to cover your Glock in a more stable shooting platform in the way this is put together. It's got accessory rails, it's got better ergonomics, faster target acquisition, and increased accuracy. It's a very simple system to use. It's a polymer frame with some aluminum reinforcements, so it keeps the weight low. It provides Picatinny rails, so you can add optics, you can add accessories on the bottom. It's got pick rails on the top. And best of all, you don't need to make permanent modifications to your Glock. So let's go ahead and look at some shooting we did at the range. You can kind of see how this thing performed. Charging handle. We haven't done a lot of performance testing on it, but we're going to keep getting it out there and checking it out more and more and more and see if it's worth even having. So which Glocks will fit in this Recover Tactical system? So one of the best advantages of it is its wide Glock compatibility. So you can drop multiple Glocks into this. So the Glock 17, Glock 19, 22, 23s, 31s, 32s, Gen 3, Gen 5 compatible. 19X, Glock 45, Glock 35. There is a complete compatibility list on the Recover Tactical website. So a lot of things you can do. One thing I will tell you, I'm going to do it right up front. You got to make sure that you're running OEM sights or OEM height sights. If not, you're in trouble. And so if you're running other manufacturers that this chassis runs with, yes, they make one for SIGs and they make them for 1911. So if you're running something different, they got you covered. So let's talk about some pros and cons. And then we're going to kind of get into, I'm going to open it up for you and show you the inside, that kind of stuff. So obviously a con is, or I'm sorry, a pro is that it converts your Glock into a PDW. Straight up, which is pretty awesome. Okay, pretty awesome. It gives you more stability, more control. It gives you more accessory options, usability, everything that you would need in a personal defense weapon. No permanent modifications to the Glock, which is great. Again, the accessory options for lights, for optics, foregrips, that kind of stuff. Works with multiple Glock types, which we just discussed. It's lightweight, it's durable, polymer framed. And we all know polymer is a pretty solid material. Now, some of the cons of the Recover Tactical. It's not a firearm. So I don't know if that's a con or not. Kind of a pro, because you can do what you need to. But it can be restricted in some areas, so make sure you're checking out any law enforcement or any laws that may restrict that in your state. It does make things bulkier, so obviously you can't put it in a holster, right? You need to have it in a sling, which, depending on how you put this together, you can add a sling and attachment points for it. This configuration, and this is where you're going to have to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble. This configuration that I have came with a foldable stock, which the moment I put this inside here made it an NFA item. It comes in a configuration where you can do a foldable stock or foldable brace. I have a foldable stock for this, but I cannot put it on here because if I do, it makes it an NFA item. And we cannot do that because of the collapsible stock or foldable stock. The good thing about it is this thing is mil-spec for a buffer tube. So I have an SBA3 tactical pistol brace on it, which does not make it an NFA item. So therefore, I can put my Glock in this chassis. Keep that in mind. One of the things we noticed at the range is that while the chassis does add weight, it actually keeps your recoil down because you're able to provide more stability to the pistol, and it allows us to get more accurate rapid on follow shots. Depending on the pistol that you're running, and depending if you have, you can run a suppressor in here, which is pretty cool. If you check out our channel, we have some reviews with some JK armament, the CCX 105, which would fit in here, and some other smaller suppressors may fit in here. So you can run a suppressed option in here if you have the right suppressor. Let's go ahead and talk about the features of this thing from the rear going forward. So like I already mentioned, it's mil-spec, so you can put a buffer tube and then run a pistol grip or a pistol brace on here, or you can put a foldable pistol brace, but make sure you follow NFA rules. Moving forward, it has a standard pistol grip that you can actually swap out with an AR-15 pistol grip. One cool thing about it is it provides a safety, right? Glocks don't have a safety. This is your safety, your finger, right? And you have this, and that's your safety, that's it. So once you put it inside the chassis, you now have a safety option. We talked about the pick rails that are across the top, pick rails that are across the bottom. Depending on how you run this. So what else is in the box besides the chassis and the pistol grip or the pistol stock that came with it? This piece here goes onto your Glock. I'm not going to mount it on there because I don't want them to get mad at me. But this actually goes on your Glock and it turns it into a side charging firearm, which is pretty cool. And we'll show you that here in a minute. It comes with a forward magazine holder. Some people call it a magazine holder. Some people call it, you know what that other thing they call it. We call it a magazine holder. The pistol grip is also a magazine holder. So let's go ahead and get this on here. So there's your magazine holder, and then there is your third magazine, which goes in your Glock. So you can see you carry a lot of ammo. Now these magazine holders, they are not clips. They have clips, but they're pretty weak. You'll just strip them out. Magazine release, depending on how you decide to use this chassis, you have a thumb supports on both sides. It's solid. So let's go ahead and open this up and let's show you what it looks like on the inside. So I am not assembling anything. So what I'm doing right now is not against YouTube's rules. I'm not assembling anything. So let me show you the inside here. When you're looking on the inside of the chassis, here is your trigger. This is like a bullpup design. So you have the trigger here, which then has to pull back to fire the pistol. They say that this is adjustable, but I didn't really see where it was adjustable. But I don't know if it's a spring thing that you can replace, but they say it's adjustable. The Glock goes in here. This shroud is attached, so it just provides a little more protection for the Glock when it's in here, and also gives you a little more protection. So if you had a longer Glock, like let's say the Glock 35, your Glock 35 is going to stick out here further, and you have a little more safety so your hands aren't put over the muzzle of the pistol. So then your Glock just sits inside of here. You close down the chassis, you lock it in, and you're good to go. Again, I cannot put it together on camera. Again, you can check us out on Rumble, and we may be able to put together a full setup for you. So let me go ahead and put it all back together off camera, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay, here is the Recover Tactical fully assembled with the Glock inside. Again, I can't show you it on the camera, but here it is. So there's your magazine in the pistol grip. There's your magazine in the pistol. There's your magazine holder in the front. Your safety. So this thing, and I told you, it turns it into a side charger. Now I've already charged it, so it's on safe. It is not going to fire. So once we take it off safe, it'll fire, which is, I love that option. It turns it again, like I said, into a side charger. But there is no slide release. The only way you'll be able to slide the release, drop the magazine, send the slide forward, put your magazine back in. So that's the one bummer thing about it. There's your pick rail, so you can see optics on it. And then if you want to put a light, you can mount a light up here, or you can drop the forward magazine holder and put a light down on the pick rail down there. And there's the front shroud, but you'll notice, let me see if I can get you a shot here. I don't know if I can or not. The Glock, see if I can turn the camera a little bit for y'all. So there is your Glock down in here. But you can see that muzzle, actually, there we go. So you can see that muzzle is quite a ways down in there, so not a big deal. So, is the Recover Tactical worth it? Are you looking for a way to increase your Glock stability, add accessories, turn it into a PDW? This is definitely a solid option, I think. When it's all put together, it is solid. It doesn't flex, it doesn't move. So make sure you check out your local laws though, and about conversions for firearms. I am by no means a lawyer. This is not what I do, so don't take what I'm saying here, fix my camera, any legal advice. So for my time on the range, I can say the chassis was definitely enhanced control, it enhanced accuracy, and it was really fun to shoot. So let me know in the comments below if you'd run this setup. Which Glock would you put in it? And before you go, again, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share. And until then, stay safe, stay free, support the Second Amendment. We'll see you in the next video.